Hello everyone! Today I'm gonna show my favorite technique of doing food caviar. With this easy technique, you can make sweet or even savory spheres at home. So I hope you're gonna like it, and let's do it. In this video, I'm gonna show you 3 versions of food caviar: green apple, tomato water, and coffee. The technique is basically the same. You just play around with spices and juices. But if you understand how to do it, you can do any food caviar you want. And the first thing you have to do, before everything else, you have to prepare your oil and put it inside the freezer. If you don't make your oil super cold, the technique will not work properly. And let's start with tomato water version. I'm gonna need tomatoes, chili, shallots, garlic, salt, sugar, and white wine. And the first thing I have to do is to chop everything roughly so I can blend it properly. You can really adjust this recipe with different vegetables like bell peppers, cucumbers, or different spices or herbs. Depend on how you want to use your spheres. Now I can transfer it, everything inside the blender, and I'm gonna blend it. But you don't want to blend it for 5 minutes like when you do your purees or soups, but blend it just for around 30 seconds so you get the juice out. And for the last step, you will need some thin cloth, and you're gonna wait until the water separates. Just make sure you don't push it anyhow, just leave it like this. And in the meantime, let's start with sweet version from green apples. So I have here a few green apples. These are sweet, but of course you can use even sour one. So I just chop them roughly and take out the seeds. And the next step is to juice them. If you don't have juicer, you can just blitz them with a little bit of water inside the blender and then pass it through the chinois. Now I can transfer the juice inside a pot. Also add 1 stick of cinnamon, some cardamom seeds, and lime juice. I'm gonna bring it to boil and then mix agar in. I'm using 1 gram of agar for every 100 ml of liquid. So I cook it for around 2 minutes and then I'm gonna pass it through the chinois so I get rid of all the spices. At this point, I put a little bit of green coloring so my spheres get nice color. You wanna leave the mix to cool down a little bit and then you can transfer it inside the bottle and let's make the spheres. The oil is nice and cold and your job is to put your apple mix slowly in. Just do it slowly, take time, so your spheres will be nice and small. But of course, if you want to do big spheres, you can do it the same way, just pour it faster in. And at the end, you just pass it everything through the chinois and your spheres are done. They are still a little bit oily, so if you don't want that, you can just rinse it with cold water. And let's give a little bit to our food inspector, so he can check it out if they taste good. And of course, it's sweet apple juice, so he love it. So the apple spheres are done. So let's start with coffee variation. Because I want to show you, you don't have to always use just fruit juice or vegetable juice. You can use any liquid you really want to. So I just mix water, instant coffee, sugar, and my favorite rum inside the pot. Bring it to the boil. Put the same amount of agar in. Cook it for 2 minutes. And let's do the coffee spheres. Important thing is to leave the mix cool down a little bit so it's not super hot. And I'm gonna use the same technique, same oil, and I'm gonna end up with these beautiful coffee spheres. At this time is my tomato water ready, so let's finish it as well. And I will do again the same. I measure how much liquid I do, I measure my agar, bring it to the boil, cook it for 2 minutes, and make the spheres. I'm gonna use this old school technique so I can cool it down faster. And as you can see, this technique works with any liquid from vegetable, juices, everything. So you can be very creative and use it for starter, main courses or even desserts. And the spheres are done, guys. The coffee one I would recommend to use for your desserts, but even for some homemade drinks. The tomato water is gonna be best for some starters, but even for the main courses. The apple caviar will be best for desserts, but if you play with the ratio of sugar and lime, you can use it even for the starters or main courses. And which is your favorite, guys? Let me know in the comments. And if you would like to learn another cool pastry decoration, check out this video and learn how you can make this beautiful translucent pad at home. Thank you for watching, and I see you soon.